r/AskReddit, what's something you've gotten away with as a kid because they're young and don't know what they're doing, when really you knew exactly what you were doing? I threw a water balloon during a birthday party at my friend's dad that I didn't like. The first 2 years of elementary school I had to take the public bus 2 times a week to get to my school. So my mum gave me money for the ticket each morning I needed it. What she didn't know, I never once bought a ticket and kept all the money. 2 times I got caught, but pretended I didn't even know how to buy one, and they let me go because I was so young. I used to wait until my mom showed up at the babysitter's to pick us up to ask for snacks. She would never give them to me throughout the day, but she wouldn't say no when my mom was standing there. I stole a ball from a thrift store. I said I thought it was just someone's lost ball, since it was obviously not a brand new item in a store. However, I fully understood the concept of a thrift store. This reminds me of something I actually went through. There was a 6-year-old who used to step on me and my sister's feet. We normally didn't have socks on, twist so that it hurt more. Then when we got mad at him, he would say I am little with a smile. I was on a trampoline, and my older brother kept pushing me whenever I tried to stand up. He repeatedly did this about 7 times. He pushed me all the way to the springs. I tried to stand up again, and he pushed me off the trampoline. Because of the way he pushed me, I was falling head first, so I reached above my head to protect my head from the impact. I broke my fall with my arm, and I broke my arm with my fall. Compound fracture. Bone pierced the skin. It popped back in immediately after stabbing my skin, so I never got to see the bone. He told our parents that I was about to fall off the trampoline, and he tried to catch me, but he accidentally pushed me. And my parents thought he tried his best, but he's just a kid, so at least he tried to catch him. One time, I became a black market candy shop owner at school. Of course my parents thought I didn't know better, but I had a whole business plan. Eventually I made $400 and my parents realized that I was becoming some sort of weird hustler that knew too much financially. I lost the touch as I got older though. Eating the giant chocolate egg my brother got from school. The second he went to get my mom to show it. I was the victim of this. We were both kids, but I was the older one. I had my head out of the window and my cousin rolled it up choking me till I was cheery. I was livid, but her mom didn't punish or discipline her cause she's just a kid. I don't know if this fits, because I don't remember it at all. But when I was around 3 or so, my sister, 10 years older, kept getting blamed for eating all the ice cream, and would deny it, which made my mom mad. Then one day, my mom rounds the corner into the kitchen, then quickly pulls back to watch little old me drag a chair from the table over to the freezer, grab a spoon from the drawer, open said freezer and dive into the ice cream, finish and put the ice cream back. Close the freezer, lick the spoon, and put it back into the drawer, and pull the chair back over to the table. It was almost the perfect crime. I used a lot of things in the pantry to make a cake. I had no idea what I was doing, and I knew very well that it wasn't going to turn out any good. I made a mess with flour and sugar and chocolate and everything I could find that sounded cakey. My cake was a disgusting blob with sprinkles and jam on top. I was kind of proud, but I knew I had messed up. I even ate some of it. They made me clean, but I was making it worse, so I got help. My parents had weird schedules, so for school, my mum usually packed my lunch in the evening and my dad would give me lunch money in the morning, not knowing that I already had lunch packed. I continued that scam for a couple of months, until I had enough money to buy a wig, which is when my parents noticed that they've been tricked by a 7-year-old, but of course they didn't think I did it on purpose. Pretty much anything, as long as the house did not burn down. I'm the youngest of 9 kids, and by the time my parents got to me, they were just too damn tired. Zipped my sister in a suitcase and sent her down the stairs. Nothing happened and she was a bit traumatized, but no physical injury on my part. Hers too, I guess. When I was maybe like 3 to 4 years old, I remember going to the fridge for a snack at maybe 3 in the morning. I accidentally knocked a whole carton of eggs onto the floor. I think I kind of just pushed the broken eggs and stuff under the fridge with paper towel. All of it. It was hidden pretty well, if I remember correctly. I don't remember any aftermath from the incident. Weird. I cut the tip of my finger with those small grooming scissors cause I wanted to see if it would hurt. It didn't. I just freaked out at the amount of blood coming out to my finger. Scared the hell out of my teenage brother at the time. My grandfather was always grumpy and didn't like kids. So as he climbed the stairs, I'd pinch him on the butt with a pair of dad's needle nose pliers. He'd yell, "Drag your ass on out to here, yeah damn little kid." But mom would smile and say, "He's just being cute." I was the victim of this though, but once my cousin pushed me down a set of stairs into a brick wall. I guess stealing money from my dad, so I can buy Happy Meals, and get the toys in them. Poor dad barely even had money back then to support us, kinda feel like shit now. I wrote on the wall 3 big C's in blue crayon, when I was about 3 or 4. My name starts with a C, so it looked like my sister was trying to get me in trouble. Mooning some lady on the highway, when I was like 7. I'd just watched some funny movie, where there was a mooning joke. So there I am, in the backseat of my mum's car. We are going to meet up with the rest of the family for dinner at Sizzlers, and there's remnants of the rush hour traffic. Lo and behold, my idiot 7-year-old self thinks it would be funny to moon someone in slow traffic. My victim followed my mum off the highway to the Sizzler, and approached her. When she got out of the car, "Do you know what your son just did?" To which my mom told the lady to lighten up, and told her to get lost. When I was really little, a year or so into using the bathroom mostly on my own, I decided I wanted to use a potty again this time. But only the top part was there. Just the seat, no bowl to be found. Now I don't recall exactly what my motivation was, but I definitely remember I knew exactly what was going to happen, as I decided the lack of bowl wouldn't be stopping this train, and how hard it was to not to laugh and keep acting confused as my mom was patiently explaining how it worked. And did I forget how to use the toilet while there was a puddle on the floor, like I had made some honest mistake. Edit. This is now the 2nd time I've shared an embarrassing childhood story, and this and the other one are the only posts I've ever had up into the 4 digits in 3 years. My cousin would always beat me up when I was really young, and he wouldn't get in trouble because we were young. So one day we were having my cousins over for my birthday, and I was scared of him. So my brother told me to hit him back. He comes over, a few hours pass, and then he challenges me to a fight. I quickly slap him in the face really hard, and he starts bawling, and then I get in trouble. My granddad lived with us when I was growing up, and he was really a very mean-spirited man, and talked awful to most everyone including my sister and me. Once his brother, who lived a few states away, parked his RV in our yard for a few months, and one time I overheard my granddad say he wished he'd move that ugly thing out of our yard. Well, when his brother came to visit, I repeated this in front of both my granddad and my great uncle, and it embarrassed my granddad so bad. I left the room acting like I was just being a kid who accidentally let something slip, but I knew what I was doing the whole time. When I was really young, my cousin was my neighbor, and they would leave their giant dog outside, so he could run in the woods and enjoy the yard while they were out. Me being 6 and just given the newfound power of leaving my yard to go to my cousin's, as long as I didn't cross the road. Long story short, cousin and family wasn't home. I went over, painted their black dog with white paint, and they blamed my older cousin for doing it. Literally 2 years ago, reconnected with my cousin after years as we were smoking a doobie. He mentioned the incident, I admitted to it, and he started laughing and telling me how they always mention him painting the dog. Throwing my brother with a swing ball bat. It was an honest accident as my hands were sweaty. 2 weeks later, he threw me with the bat because he was angry. He was 5. I was 9, and told my mom it slipped, like mine did, and what do you know? I got 4 stitches, and he got no punishment. He laughed at me after coming back from the hospital. That MF knew what he was doing. Still love him to bits and we are super close today. When I was 10, and my younger sisters were 7 and 4, we hated our babysitter. Me and the 7-year-old spent a whole month saying how much we hated her, and that she wasn't in charge of us, etc. in front of the 4-year-old. One day I heard the babysitter crying. Go to check what's happening, and the youngest said to her that she wasn't our babysitter. and we wouldn't do whatever she wanted us to do. The girl probably wanted her to take a bath or something. The girl resigned that day. My little sister didn't even say that she was repeating what we said, but I knew it was my fault. If something doesn't make sense grammatically, please let me know so I can improve. I'm the oldest child in my family, so hadn't experienced it much, but the amount of shit that my kid brother gets away with that would have gotten me in trouble is unbelievable. It's not much, but when I was in 2nd grade my grandfather passed away, and at the funeral I splashed my sister with holy water screaming die demon die. When I was around 8 I was told I was allowed to get 2 pet mice, so they wouldn't be lonely. I picked a male and a female. A few weeks later I had 12 mice. I'm the oldest sibling, can't relate. This might not quite fit, but when I was in kindergarten I knew how to read, and thought it would be funny if I pretended in class that I didn't know how to read. I had my teacher completely fooled, and it only unraveled when mom had a parent-teacher conference and my teacher tried to tell her I was having trouble learning my letters. When my older brother and I were young teens, he kept getting yelled at for watching porn on the family PC. Our Catholic mom would check the browser history, find it, and yell at him and ground him. He insisted it wasn't him. He would then get punished for lying, because it wasn't mom or dad, and it couldn't be the young, innocent straight A Catholic high school attending sister. A few years ago I fessed up that at the time the 14-year Catholic schoolgirl, would Google porn and click links to fill up the browser history, and then go on my merry way. Every time my brother pissed me off, didn't even watch it, just Googled some boobs, and then moved on because I knew she checked our browser history every night because that's just what she did. We did not get along as teens. He pissed me off a lot, so he got yelled at by our mom a lot for porn use. In Greece when I was little we didn't have a proper shower and bathroom. We had an outhouse, and would shower outside in the yard with a curtain and hose. Common for the island I am from at the time. All the neighbors would do the same thing. I used to climb to the top of the house and watch the ladies showering. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one.